what's up, Michigan? It's another round of the State Champs Recruit Report presented by Lawrence Technological University. You know, you could satisfy your curiosity by checking out everything Lawrence Tech has to offer at an upcoming visit day. You can make magic and literally change the world. There are 2 dates coming up, Saturday, November 18th and Saturday, December 9th. Both events start at 10 a.m. All you need to do, it's totally free. Go to ltu.edu, click on admissions, and then events. We're joined each and every week by 24/7 Sports' Alan True, who makes it his business to know a ton of what's happening in Midwest high school football recruiting. Now, we focus on the news affecting high school football players here in the state of Michigan for this show. And Alan, it's always great to see you.
Always great to see you. I can't believe I'm looking at playoff schedules already here and trying to figure out where I might be in a couple weeks, but it's gone quickly.
Let's start in Haslett this week. There are a pair of Amachree brothers that play for the Vikings. The older sibling and the senior Nakai is committed to Bowling Green. What's up with younger brother Kory?
Yeah, Kory was one of several Michigan kids who visited Louisville last weekend, and he was one of the ones that came away with an offer. The Cardinals have made an effort to recruit Michigan very hard in this last cycle, but even going back to getting guys like Desmond Fitzpatrick, they've always come into Michigan a little bit. So Kory picks up an offer from them. That is his first ACC offer. He's only a 26, but he's going to get quite a few more. I mean, he's 190 pounds. He runs low 11s in the 100-meter dash. Would expect him to go faster this year. 4.4 guy in the 40, 3.98 shuttle, catches the ball extremely well out of the backfield. So he's double-digit offers right now, but I still think some of the big boys are going to come over the course of the next 2 years. Very, very talented young prospect.
Yeah, right on. Haslett 4-3 on the season. We'll see if they make a playoff push. We now head to the MAC Red and Macomb, Dakota's Justin Bell. He is a pancake machine. Big, big offensive lineman.
Yeah, picked up his first offer from Eastern Michigan not too long ago, was on their campus, visited Michigan. Michigan has not offered yet, but they are showing interest, and schools are seeing the development in him. When we first saw him as a prospect, he was about 6'6", 220 pounds on the light side. He's now 6'8", 265 pounds, and still has a ton of room to grow. And you still see him. He's a lot of arms and legs, and so I think schools are seeing the potential for him to easily pack on the weight and be a monstrous college offensive tackle prospect. You mentioned the pancake machine. He plays physically at that size, so as he gets bigger and stronger, that's going to be a scary proposition for his opponent. So Eastern Michigan in early, but just like we just said with Kory Amachree, I would not think that Eastern Michigan will be the last offer, because 6'8", 265 with some tenacity just doesn't grow on trees.
No doubt about it. And when you watch him, he really is a modern era offensive lineman because he's super quick on his feet. So despite the weight and, despite, any issues he may have had, the quote unquote growing pains, he is really explosive out of the gate. And I know, in today's sophisticated offenses, they need guys that can pull. They need guys who can trap and get out there and really help move the offense.
Yeah, you're right. And he does show that agility. He does show the ability to move. And credit to Dakota as well. They don't ask him to make the same block over and over again. They run a more sophisticated offense there. So I think on film, it's easy to see that he's not just a one-trick pony. And so they have the type of offense that can showcase those skills as well.
Yeah, and he's going up against great competition. Cougars hoping to rebound after a tough loss to Utica Eisenhower, but very winnable games the last 2 weeks and the chance to finish with 7 wins in the regular season. All right, well, let's wrap it up with some news from the West Side. Our number 19 ranked team in the state, Grand Rapids Forest Hill Central, 6-1 on the year, and there is news regarding the athlete that is Maxwell Richardson, despite his commitment.
Yeah, he's a junior who's committed to Stanford, committed to them in the summer, but the last couple of weeks, the Big Ten schools have come calling, and he's taken visits to Michigan and Wisconsin. At this point, neither of those schools have offered, but he's at least listening to them and taking a look while maintaining his commitment to Stanford. He just retweeted something about their academics. I know that's a big deal for him. He's got over a 4.1 GPA in the classroom, but also a classic kind of Big Ten type linebacker at 6'3", 215 pounds. And so I think as he's had a great season, the Rangers have had a great season. Some of these other schools have continued to kick the tires on him. Still firmly committed to Stanford, still excited about that. But I think at least ears are open and willing to go and take a couple of Big Ten visits during this fall. So I think that's notable if you follow Big Ten recruiting, that Max is committed out to the Pac-12 school, but still taking a look here with the Wolverines and Badgers.
And because of his athletic ability, you see linebacker is where he'll be at the next level?
Likely, although if you see him in person, he's got the type of frame that I think those schools could look at him as an edge rusher, especially with Wisconsin, the way that they stand up their outside backers and have them rush the passer. TJ Watt, the most famous example of that, but also Nick Herbig, guys like that recently. I think you decide with Max kind of where nature goes. He's still got 2 seasons left of high school, and like I said, he's already pushing 6'4", 215 pounds. So I think he will either be a big linebacker or he will be an edge rusher, but definitely somewhere on the defensive side of the ball unless something changes.
Yeah, and watching Eastern Michigan's Max Crosby tear it up for the Raiders now, it's like, he stands up and he's moving all over the place, and it looks like, again, that these are the types of athletes they want now. Maybe not necessarily, the big lumberers, but the guys who really can just get after it.
Yeah, I think that's now where too you hear this edge designation a lot.
Right.
You don't just say linebacker anymore. You don't just say defensive end anymore. It's sort of these hybrid roles, and I think Max is that new age kind of guy. And so, like I said too, with 2 years left of high school, you never know how bodies are going to change. Kenny Willekes, another West Side guy, was similarly built as a junior in high school, got a lot bigger, and ended up putting his hand down at the next level. So you could see something like that with Max. I think he just gives you a lot of different possibilities with his versatility, size, and the way he plays.
Absolutely, and another team that we think is going to make some noise in the playoffs. All right, well, you can follow Alan True on X, formerly known as Twitter, ALLENTRIEU. Check out all of his work at 247sports.com. Now, before I let you go, now that we're just a few short months away from the early signing day, is it typical now for you that things are really going to get frenetic from here on out in terms of offers?
Yeah, I think offers and potentially seniors taking another look. As the college season winds down, you may have coaches moving locations, changing jobs, and that will certainly have a lot to do with kids taking another look. You get your official visits, and now there isn't a limit on that. So some of these guys who have been committed for a while can take official visits after the season. So yes, I would say we're reaching the point where it starts to get a lot more fast-paced. If teams get eliminated from the playoffs, then those kids on those teams can start focusing more on recruiting. So November into December is a very, very busy time in the recruiting world.
Right on. And we'll talk about it right here on the Recruit Report. So, Alan, again, thanks for your time. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, looking forward to it.